Hello everyone, I am JCIP and you are watching Kalakar Makerspace video. This will be the last video of 2018 and I am really excited because it's been a really great year and I have some statistics so that I can share it with you. But before I do that, thank you so much for giving your love and support to this channel. Without you, it wouldn't have reached this place. There have been millions and millions of comments, lots and lots of shares, and it has helped me grow really a lot. So let's see the statistics. In 2018, we released around 27 videos. We had around 5 3D printers. We reached 20,000 subscribers in March, and in November we reached 30,000 subscribers. Currently we are at 31,000 subscribers. And in October we participated in our first ever exhibition. It was a huge great success. We displayed our 3D printers, and as a makerspace we spoke a lot about how makers can influence and do things on their own. We did not expect such a huge turn of people for the event. In fact, all 3 days we were continuously standing, and then there were hordes and hordes of people coming, and it was really awesome talking to everybody. Everybody were really curious as to what we were doing, because the entire flea market was something related to accessories and apparels, and we were the only people there with 3D printers. Every kid stopped over there, so it was really good. In YouTube statistics, we've reached around 5 million watch time, 2.1 million views. We gained around 30,000 subscribers, and our top videos have been inverter battery connection, 12-inch disc sander, automatic door closer, CNC controller with Arduino, and installing a pedestal fan. Somehow the videos that we make to fix things around the house have been giving really good results, and I'm able to see that, and I'm going to make more such videos where I fix things around the home. But as such, I would like to take this opportunity to give you a shop tour of our makerspace as well, because this year we have grown to a bigger area and we have a lot of mini tools. So let's see what we have in the store. As the count of the 3D printers grew more and more, I wanted a place to keep everything together. So in one of the previous videos, I made an entire table where I stacked everything side by side, and it was such a bad use of space. So I finally came up with this design in which on either side I just have angled rods, and there are shelves put in between. Everything is constructed using MS metal. It's really robust because no matter how much I try to shake, nothing is going to happen because I welded them back to the wall themselves. So when there is some amount of jerk from the 3D printers, the glasses might shake, but the structure is entirely strong. And this design has been really helpful in stacking one on top of the other. Of course, we have some amount of issue when we want to see the 3D printers at the top, where I have to climb on a stool or something. But then with the space given, it was a really good choice. And if you can see here, bigger 3D printers like the Tivo Tornado are kept in the sideways because the bed plate has to move, and the total width I have around is just 2 feet, whereas that is a little more than 2 feet. So this one was able to solve. If you want to know the dimensions, this is 5 feet wide and the depth is around 2 feet like I said, and the height is again 3 feet. So the total height is around 9 feet, and we have 3 different sections. So here is my Prusa, which is the first 3D printer which I ever bought in 2015, the Tivo Tornado which I got this year, the CR10 which I got in the previous year. Here we had Anycubic i3 Mega. In one of the prints we kind of short circuited the board, but I was able to solve that. That's a video that will be coming very soon. I'll show you how I fixed that. So that's here. Underneath we have all the filaments, we have all the 3D prints just for display, so when people walk in I can show them what is the output of all the printers. Now that we are selling a lot of filaments online, we need to stock up, so we have our stock over here. So apart from the filaments, we are selling all the 3D printer parts, we are selling a lot of nozzles, whatever accessories that is related to 3D print, we are selling all of them. So everything is up here in the bottom. So next, let's go to the CNC room and see what we have there. So here I have the CNC machine, which is around 2 feet by 2 feet. It is entirely for woodworking purpose only, and I have a 2 horsepower motor over here. Every machine, every equipment in this makerspace is only single phase one, so that I don't have to work with extra wiring and all such details. So the previous videos where you saw the clock design, the D-Heart M where I put a lot of bulbs, those projects were actually made on this. It is really lovely. This machine was given to me by svplasers.com here. and they make these kind of machines which is cheap and really robust. They also make with different bed sizes, so please do check their website. And on this side I have new machine that I bought just a couple of months ago. This was really necessary and I was finally able to invest in it. It's benchtop polisher, so I have polisher on one side and I have a grinding machine on the other side. It's a half horsepower motor. I haven't tested much with it because soon after I got it I had a lot of other projects to do, but this will be mainly used for making epoxy stuff, so I can polish them really well. I have different polishing wheels and different compounds, everything here. Here is the very famous video that I made, the 12-inch disc sander. It also has a half-inch horsepower motor and I rarely change the disc on this. Many people ask me that I've already stuck the disc here, how I'm going to remove it, but the easiest answer would be I usually use a chisel or heat gun and it comes out. But right now I've put almost 2 sheets one on top of the other because the previous one, it was totally damaged. It became absolutely flat, so that became a really good point for me to stick another sheet on it. But if something really bad happens, I will be able to cut another circle in the CNC machine and put it on the pulley wheel and again use it. So this build has worked out really good for me. And here I have a smaller sanding machine, belt sander. So we have flat build over here and the smaller one here. Usually I do the rough sanding on this bigger machine and the finer sanding here. This is a 6-inch wheel, so I have 6-inch sanding paper which I can stick here and then do it. So I have something from 400 to 600 to 800, everything on here. Once this is done, let's go that side. That is our metal CNC. This video also has been really phenomenally good, where I actually built this unit. This has an Arduino controller and it has TB6600 stepper motor drivers. This design, I followed the open build design where I constructed this myself. And for the router, I'm using the Makita one. I'll have model number in the description. I'm not sure about that. I changed the collet to an ER11, so I will be able to use a different size collets. So I have all different size collets from 4mm, 3.5mm, all different ones here. I have all the bits here, and here I have a few more router bits which I can use. Both of them use different machines. Sometimes I put my laptop here and work, whereas that has its own dedicated desktop. I built this room in June of this year because as a CNC machine it was creating a lot of dust, especially when I used to work with MDF, so I had to keep it separate. But I made sure that I have enough space in this room because one day I want a big 6 by 4 feet CNC machine, and that will also come inside this room, and I will have a laser cutting machine that will also come inside. So with that in mind, I made sure that the room is big and it's tall enough and well properly lit. And you can see DIY light which I made. These are actually food dishes and some acrylic cut, but it looks really good. I'm soon going to make a video on that as well. And here you can see that's a 50-watt light that is also an LED module. I already made a video about that. So all the lightings in the shop is custom made and they are all LED lights but can be powered directly by 220 volts, so you don't need any drivers. These have been performing really good and it's really good for the video which you are actually seeing now. Next we'll go and see the woodworking session. Record ho raha hai. So the first machine here is my workhorse. It's a table saw from Makita. It's a job site saw, so it's not really robust and powerful, but it has performed really good for me, and I would suggest if you're a beginner to get this machine. I've extended the side and I put a router here so that I can use this as a routing table also, and put a laminate on top of it so that I get a smooth surface. So that's my table saw, and back here I have the band saw. It's a beast. It has 2 horsepower motor, and right now I put around 1-inch blade so that I can do resawing. In India we don't mostly get the 4mm blade, but I think I can import it. Although I've never had a necessity to use a 4mm blade here. It's all totally cast iron, and even the wheels inside are cast iron. This machine rarely gets used, but when you have a use for it, it's absolutely beautiful. Then over here I have the drill press machine. It also has a 2 horsepower motor, which is actually an overkill. I think I can use it with just 1 horsepower, and it holds a really big chuck, and I think I need to change that as well. This is amazing, but it is too much for my job, but I'm glad that I invested with a futuristic idea that I can use it somewhere later also. Then we have all the other tools over here. I have the DeWalt 18-volt cordless drill, the Hitachi one, I have to fix that. There's a skill saw, the Bosch jigsaw, hot gun from Stanley, some nailers and all the other tools in this area. This was recently set up by me. Initially I used to have it in some other section and it was really irritating. So I had to move this here, get it more organized, and here you can see I've made this shelves which was made with epoxy. Again, I have a video on that which you can check in the description. So there is no doubt that epoxy can work as a really good shelf holder. Here we have all the other clamps, and this is a good 3D print design that I made to hold a different size of screwdrivers. And on the top I have some clamps which also are 3D printed. Here I have the frame. Here we have all types of tapes, some more storage spaces, and on this side we call it as maker wares, and inside that I have almost all my materials like sanding paper, spray cans, paints, finishes, glue, almost everything that I used in the shop from daily basis is all in here. In between the work tables, I have this powerful machine. It's the DeWalt chop saw, and it's a sliding chop saw which is a compound chop saw as well, because I can set the angle like this also, and I can set the angle on the bed as well. And here there is 15 liters Stanley compressor. This is not really great for painting, but if you're using just a nailer and all, it is really good, because in painting I run out of air very soon and I have to wait for it to refill. Maybe a bigger CFM compressor will be good, but right now I have this and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I want to show you my shop as is, so I haven't cleaned anything, so don't worry if your shop is messy. That's how shops are supposed to be. Anyway, here I have the metalworking table that I built during June or March, I guess. After 6 to 8 months, this is the state of the table. It's working really good. On this side I have the chop saw, and over here I have the welding machine. I still haven't changed the top. It's still this mesh on the top. I want to put a solid piece of metal, but somehow I never got the time around it or the money. So it's still here, and behind that we have the main working table which I built last year. That was a really tough one with mortise and tenon joints, but it's performing really good. I have around 2-inch thick slab on top of it. It's a door, and there's no bowing or anything of that sort. All the wood is perfectly good. Behind that is my first ever workbench that I built. It's done with the teak wood. It's in a bad shape because I use mostly for keeping the paints or mixing the paints, so there's a lot of spill, but that also is really performing well. An important improvement that I made to the shop is light up the entire shop. So if you see on the top, I've used these LED lamps all over at regular intervals, and on the middle you can see this gear design chandelier that I made. There's a video about that also. So these lights are around 20 to 50 watts based on different combinations. Mostly I have mixed them with the white light and warm light so that I get a good tone on the video. Again, these lights don't need any drivers. They are connected directly to AC power. Even during the day when there is overshadow or anything of that sort, these lights are really good. Finally, I upped my game by adding these 1000-volt lights. So that is going to make a lot of video look really better. So I have 2 of them, and they're kind of in an yellowish tone, but I think as I make videos I will make sure that I add some more white light and balance it out. It's a constant improvement in process, and I'm glad we've reached to this point in 2018. So that's a small tour of the shop and what has been happening, statistics, and thank you again for such an awesome year. I'm looking forward to start 2019 with really great projects. Oh, 1 minute, I have to show you something interesting. What I have here is a hand cranked injection molding machine. We are missing the heating element and other parts, but I'm really excited to have a machine like this at home so that I can start making molds and start getting the injection molded parts out of it. This is going to be a great start for 2019. I'm going to renovate this machine. I'm going to give you all informations of what is the machine cost, how I'm going to put the hopper here, what are the heating elements, everything related to that. So I'm really looking forward to renovating this machine. So like I said, thank you for such a great year, and I'm looking forward to your love and support in 2019. If you don't want to miss any project videos, then please do subscribe. And of course, running such a huge place takes a lot of time and effort, so please consider pitching on Patreon. I hope to see you in 2019. Have a wonderful year, have a blast. I'll see you next year. Until next time, happy learning.